That's everybody, right? Uh-oh. Nope. No way!
Now, if you play Ready or Not, you know this game is absolutely unforgiving. The time to kill
Fucking hell,
is
bro.
super short, and dying is a regular occurrence. It's just a part of the flow. Now, in this video, though, we're going to give you some safety tips on how to keep yourself and your teammates alive for the entirety of the mission. So, let's get started.
Damn.
That didn't go well.
Now, the first safety tip is going to be avoid flagging your teammates. What flagging means is you're pointing the barrel of your gun at your teammates. You never want to point the barrel of your gun at your teammates or at civilians. If you're not in combat, make sure you have that barrel in a safe direction at all times, and keep your finger off that trigger. If you don't aim to shoot, get it away from the controller. Only put your finger on the trigger when you're in the midst of combat and about to engage a suspect. You want to make it a habit too as well that when you see your friendlies getting in the midst of your sector or your line of fire, make sure that you are transitioning to high ready or low ready at all times. And to activate these, you're just going to go to the settings menu, go to the options, and switch it to high or low. That's going to be your personal preference. There is no advantage either or in terms of speed or acquisition of target. It's just kind of an animation preference, but you want to get used to doing this, especially if you're the second, third, or fourth man in the stack. You want to make sure that you're staying safe at all times and keeping your friendlies alive.
Good job. Brother.
Now, the second safety tip is going to be peeking and wanding all doors, especially if there are booby traps. Now, you're going to know if there's booby traps at the initial start of the mission when the command center lets you know that there are possible traps on the map. And just be mindful, once you see one trap, treat every door as if it's booby trap. You don't want to forget that these are there. You don't want to be caught in the heat of battle, run through a door, kick open the door because you forgot.
No. I said peeking, you.
Now, the third safety tip is going to be to stay out of the fatal funnel. The fatal funnel is defined as narrow, confined areas such as doorways, stairwells, and hallways where individuals are particularly vulnerable during confrontations, especially in tactical situations. This, because Ready or Not is a CQB, primarily a CQB game, you're going to be dealing with all these. Doorways, hallways, and stairwells are really all the thresholds that we are exposed to in Ready or Not. But maintaining your distance from these and avoiding exposure to these as much as possible is going to ensure your survivability rate increases. Now, as we discussed, standing in front of a threshold is a no-go. But to maintain your complete safety, you want to stand on either the left side or the right side of the door at all times. That is where you and your team are going to be the safest. It's just why you see people stack up on doors, not in the center, but on the sides. Now, to deal with the threshold when you want to enter the door, you're going to peek open the door and slowly pie off the room. You're going to pie off inch by inch, nice and slow and methodical until you see contact or feel comfortable enough to enter the room. At that point, you'd have to enter the threshold, of course. Okay, it's the only way you can enter a room, but that's the way you want to do it, slow and methodical. This rule also applies for your special equipment as well, like the mirror gun. Do not use the mirror gun in the center of the doorway, because if the door was to open, then on the opposite side, if there was an enemy there, you now have no weapon, no way to defend yourself. Not enough reaction time to take out that enemy before they kill you. So, do it off to the side, because if the door opens, then you do have a second or two to take out your primary, or your 2-man, 3-man, 4-man could get your back as well. But make sure that when you're using your mirror gun, when you're using your battering ram, it's always on the sides of the door and not the actual center of it. That's going to keep you in the safest position possible to keep you and your teammates alive.
Oh, he got a hostage.
Safety to the right. Ooh,
Oh,
good
city
fucking
down.
headshot. Friendly's coming out. Friendly's coming out.
Suspect isn't going anywhere.
The next step is going to be to utilize callouts. When you're operating within a team, whether it be 2-man up to 5-man, you guys want to utilize callouts so both or all members of the squad are completely informed of the environment around them, of what their next action is going to be, how many suspects are there, how many civilians are there. It gives your partner the idea, a good idea of what they're jumping into. For example, if they're outside of the room and you're internal and you see there's an open door right, your responsibility to your partner and squad is to call out that right door. Why? Because now they have an expectation of a threat that they can now prioritize. You take one angle and then they can take the other. But if you're running into a room and there's an open door to the left that you are aware of and you don't make your team aware of that, once they run in, they're only going to they're solely going to focus on the threat that you're already paying attention to. So that left door is going to be completely ignored. So you want to make sure that your team has all the information, the same information you have. You're feeding them that info as you enter the room, so they are on par information-wise with what you have. If there is a suspect with a gun as opposed to a suspect with a knife, good information to relate to your team as well. If there are traps on the door, very good information to relate to the team, because now they're aware that all doors in the map are possibly trapped, which will keep them on guard to peek those doors, use the mirror gun when needed, so that they can disengage those traps, so everybody is kept as safe as possible. You also want to let them know when you're reloading. It's really good. For example, if you are the point man, you've engaged 1 or 2 suspects, and now you have to reload your weapon. While you're reloading your weapon is out of the fight. So that tells 2-man to take that priority, to take point until you get hot again, and then now the team can smoothly flow through whatever kind of building or room that you guys are currently inhabiting. But it's always good to give this information to your teammates so everybody knows where you stand in the battlefield at that moment. The next tip, and a very important tip, is everyone is declared a suspect until they aren't. This right here in this clip was a very important learning lesson for me. Me and my boy ended up getting this guy to comply. He got down to his knees, and we assumed that he was good to go. And then out of nowhere, pulls out a kitchen knife and tries to stab my partner. You want to make sure that everyone that you see is either restrained or completely confirmed to be friendly or non-lethal until otherwise. That guy could have easily killed both of us if we both entered the room and had our backs towards him. So make sure that you are identifying these people correctly and ensuring that they're no longer a threat. A good way to do so is, in the beginning of the clip, you see me bring up the wheel of commands for what I presumed at the time was just a civilian. Now, I stopped restraining people now, and I just tell them to move to the exit. Now, in the wheel command, if move to the exit is grayed out, if they're complying and they're on their knees, and you can command them to move here and move there, but you can't command them to move to the exit, take that as a super red flag that this person, sound like Mike Tyson, this person is still not complying, and declare them as a suspect. Assume that they have a weapon on them. Whoa! Oh my god, I'm dead. Oh, I'm there. Where the fuck you at, bro? I need backup! I need backup, bro! Sheesh. I'm sure you guessed it, but the last and final safety tip of the video, and the most obvious, is do not, under any circumstance, go by yourself, especially in a team setting. Now, if you're playing solo and you're trying to do challenges by yourself, hey, you got no choice. But if you're in a team dynamic, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5-man squad, Do not, under any circumstance, go by yourself. It puts you in the highest probability of death. It increases your chances of death tenfold, almost 99%. If you're playing on hard, you are going to die 100%. The AI in this game is ridiculously unforgiving. Super hard to deal with on your own. You want to make sure that you at least have one battle buddy with you, somebody watching your back, because there are too many angles in this game that you're going to be exposed to that just one man cannot cover. This is not Call of Duty. This is not Battlefield. You cannot run and gun and dolphin dive and drop shot and all that fancy shit in the other games. You can't do that in Ready or Not. This game is a slow, methodical, tactical shooter, and if you are alone, you are most likely 9.5 times out of 10 going to die in every single situation. So make sure that if you are rocking with a team, I know you want to be Super Cop, you want to be RoboCop, you want to be John McClane out of Die Hard. Don't do it. Do not do it. Stay with your buddy. Wait till they're done doing what they're doing. Hold a position until you guys regroup, and then move on to the next threshold. Move on to the next threat together. Going by yourself is the worst thing you can possibly do, and that is the quickest way that you're going to get into the grave, and the city of Los Sueños will be parading for you for about a week. So, to avoid that, make sure you're traveling with a buddy and you guys are watching each other's backs at all times. So, I hope you guys took those tips, are going to implement that into your game with your squad. And if there are any other safety tips that I missed, please start the conversation in the comment section below. Let me know what we missed. If there's something that you think that we should have touched on, comment that down below so everybody who plays the game can then practice that with their squad and implement that moving forward, so we can be the best police officers in the city of Los Sueños and clean this dirty, grimy city up together as a force. But yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed the video, smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, subscribe. We are so close to hitting the 500 subs, and you already know, as always, man, I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. God bless you all.
Evidence good.
Peace.
Collect what you can